All right, strap in, everyone. We are going deep today.
Deep dive time.
Yeah, we've got market mayhem, potential power plays in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
China's got some economic mojo working. Corporations are shaking things up.
Always.
And the global economy. Well, let's just say it's a bit of a roller coaster right now.
Buckle up.
Yeah, so much to cover. But that's why we're here,
Yeah,
to break it all down.
absolutely. And you know what's really interesting is
That's-
how it's all connected.
Yeah.
Like all these things, the markets, politics, global stuff.
Mhm.
It's like one giant tangled web.
Totally. Pull one thread and the whole thing starts to
Exactly.
unravel. So let's start with markets. There's been a surge in U.S. equity exposure,
Oh, yeah.
like an 11-year high, according to
Wow.
BOFA's Fund Manager Survey. But, and there's always a but,
There's always a but.
Citi is saying,
Well-
yeah, they're saying this rally might be hitting a peak.
So like a bull trap?
Yeah, maybe not. What do you think? Is the optimism real, or are we headed for a beer?
It's tough to say. On the one hand, we've got this incredible surge.
Right.
Buffett's survey shows investors are pouring money into U.S. equities.
Mm-hmm.
But then Citi comes in with the caution sign saying things might be slowing down.
Right. So mixed signals, basically.
Yeah, and here's another interesting contrast. While some are all in on the U.S.,
Yeah.
we're seeing outflows from Chinese equities.
So some investors are pulling back from China.
Yeah.
Wow. So much uncertainty about the global economy, right?
Definitely makes you wonder where things are headed.
For sure. But speaking of looking ahead, there's this buzz about Asian IPOs making a comeback in 2025.
Interesting. So are investors getting ready for that? Positioning themselves early?
It's possible, right? This kind of long-term outlook suggests they see potential in Asia.
A long game, for sure. It's fascinating how they try to balance the short term with...
The long,
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, let's pivot to Washington. Lots of speculation about new appointments, big names being thrown around.
Like who?
Well, there's Senator Rubio, possibly as Secretary of State, and Florida Rep. Waltz for National Security Advisor.
Wow, that's big stuff.
Yeah, what do you think that means for policy, domestically and internationally?
I mean, both Rubio and Waltz are known for their strong opinions on foreign policy, especially when it comes to
Oh, yeah.
China and the Middle East.
For sure. So if they get these positions, it could signal a shift
A
in,
big shift.
yeah, in U.S. foreign policy.
Absolutely. Could impact trade relations, alliances, you name it.
Definitely something to keep an eye on.
For sure. Definitely going to have ripple effects across the globe. And speaking of global players...
China.
Exactly. China. They're not just sitting on the sidelines watching this all play out.
Oh, no, they never do.
Right. Reports say they're planning countermoves, more economic stimulus.
To boost their economy.
Exactly. Strengthening manufacturing, maybe even letting the yuan weaken a bit.
So what's their game plan?
It's strategic. China is a master at this. Remember, they're dealing with a slowdown in global demand, supply chain issues.
Right. It's a lot to juggle. Totally. So it looks like they're focusing on boosting their domestic demand, things like tax cuts to help the property market.
Smart.
Yeah, while also making sure they stay competitive globally, hence the weaker yuan.
It's like walking a tightrope.
It is. It's a very delicate balancing act. But here's the thing. Amidst all this economic maneuvering,
Yeah.
Chinese tech platforms are reporting huge growth, especially during Singles Day, their big shopping event.
That's right. They've got this massive internal market, and it's still going strong.
Exactly. That Singles Day success is proof of that. And with the PBOC governor, Pan, taking a dovish stance,
Meaning?
meaning they're likely to keep interest rates low, try to keep stimulating growth.
Keep that internal engine running.
Exactly. So China's playing the long game,
Yeah.
focusing on domestic strength and strategic positioning on the world stage.
They're thinking ahead.
Always. Okay, let's zoom in on the corporate world for a bit. Some interesting developments there, like Amazon diving headfirst into AI chip development.
Really? Taking on NVIDIA.
Looks like it. Pretty
Wow.
bold move,
Yeah.
right?
Amazon doesn't do anything small.
Nope. They've disrupted so many industries already, and now they're setting their sights on AI, a major growth area for sure.
Do you think they can actually compete with NVIDIA?
Time will tell, but this competition is definitely going to push the boundaries of AI chip technology.
Leading to?
Faster, more affordable AI,
Hmm.
think smartphones, self-driving cars. The potential is huge.
It's mind-blowing how AI is changing everything.
It is both exciting and a little scary, but not all corporate news is so positive.
No.
Bayer is predicting their earnings are going to keep declining. They're blaming the struggling agricultural sector.
That's rough. What does that tell us about the bigger picture?
I think it highlights how interconnected everything is. Agriculture is facing all these challenges, climate change, geopolitical instability.
It all adds up.
It does. And those problems impact everyone in the supply chain. It's like that web we were talking
I
about.
want tug.
The whole thing feels it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what else is happening in the corporate world?
Well, everyone's waiting to see what happens with Tencent and Alibaba's earnings reports.
Why? What's the big deal?
Well, they're like a window into China's consumer demand, which could affect the global economy.
Right. They're major players. Their performance matters.
Could take time. Okay, let's shift gears again. Let's look at the global economic landscape.
What's the forecast?
Well, the latest zoo survey isn't looking too good for Germany.
Uh-oh. What's happening?
Economic sentiment is down, plus inflation is still high, sitting at 2.4%.
So slowing growth and stubborn inflation, that's not a good combination.
Not at all. And it's not just Germany. Wage expectations are exceeding forecasts in the UK.
Which means?
Which means the Bank of England might have to raise interest rates again to try and control inflation.
But that could slow down economic growth even more.
Exactly. It's a tricky situation. So yes, some storm clouds brewing over Europe.
Any silver linings out there?
Well, the global economy is always a mix of good and bad news. For example, consumer and business confidence in Australia has actually improved quite a bit recently.
See, there's always something positive happening somewhere.
Exactly. It's a complex picture for sure.
All right.
Last but not least, let's talk geopolitics.
The chessboard of the world.
Exactly. Reports are swirling about potential foreign policy shifts, increased support for Israel, efforts to contain Iran.
That's a volatile region. Any changes there could have big consequences.
Absolutely. The Middle East is a powder keg, and, more support for Israel could escalate tensions with Iran.
And trying to contain Iran could mess with oil prices, global energy markets.
It's a delicate situation with no easy answers, and then there's the whole U.S.-China dynamic.
Oh, that's a big one.
Huge. China's becoming more self-sufficient, relying less on American markets. It's a major power shift.
Like tectonic plates shifting, slow but powerful.
Exactly, and the implications are massive. It's going to reshape the global order, no doubt.
It's the biggest geopolitical story of our time. China's influence is growing, and that's going to create both opportunities and challenges for everyone.
Absolutely. Wow, we covered a lot today, from market jitters to potential power plays, China's economic maneuvering.
Corporate shakeups, the global economy, it's a lot.
It is. And it all points to one thing. Rapid and profound change is happening all around us.
And change always brings uncertainty, but also opportunity. The key is to stay informed, stay flexible, and be ready to adapt.
Great advice. So in this constantly shifting landscape, what do you see on the horizon? What opportunities and challenges are you preparing for? Let us know. We want to hear your thoughts. And until next time, stay curious.
Stay curious.